get you. First, we're going to talk about what we are doing here. So let me just put that up so that people know that, yes, this is what's happening. Because otherwise, what happens is I start off all very abruptly and no one knows what are we doing here, what's happening. So then I'm going to get you in. So this is what we're doing, launching the Barbados Mediation Circle, which is now circle number 18 of the World Mediation Circle. And of course, information about all this, Francis, is available on mediatorvikram.com. So I will get into it. I'll take you through the various circles also. So that's what we're doing. We'll get into that later. First, about you, Francis. You want to just a little bit about yourself. You've been on so many shows and events that, of course, people know you, but just a little introduction.
Okay. Well, thank you, Vikram, for having me and for encouraging the formation of the mediation circle. I think I should say it's a work in progress, and a few people have been invited. I haven't seen them yet, but we'll see what happens. I started in this process some years ago. I think it was around 2000. When I actually was a criminal law prosecutor, but I felt that, I never enjoyed the process of getting people convicted and sending them to jail. I always felt, well, it was part of the process and it had to be done. But at the end of the day, we really should be doing better. We really should be trying to see the statistics of persons being incarcerated, being punished, etc., going down, rather than judging our success on the basis of sending more and more people to prison and punishing people through the courts. So I've immediately recognized that a number of the instances in which the young people in particular, come into conflict with the law had to do with conflict resolution, had to do with their lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, character traits, personality traits that led them to repeat things that they had observed, sometimes in their own home, their interpretation of what happens in the society around them, that not necessarily that it's inherently violent, but that it is so important to win, so important to show that you're strong by some kind of strong reaction, and not engaging to try to see what really the problem is, but to simply respond with strength so that you dominate and you become out a winner. And that immediately, my immediate response was, no, I have to delve into the whole world of conflict resolution. And as part of moving in that direction, I became a mediator. I got trained in mediation as part of a master's degree program, and I became a mediator. What happened, however, after that was that just some kind of a small diversion was that I also became a judge. But in doing so, I became an administrator in the mediation world, in the court-connected mediation world. So, and that in turn led me to other things where, I went to international meetings on mediation. I became a Weinstein Jams fellow, as it was at the time. Now I'm a senior Weinstein International fellow, and we can talk more about that organization later. And as I go along, I still try to make use of the skills learned when I look at the circumstances of cases, and encourage people to try a different way of solving the problem. Sometimes there's a formal referral to mediation or a suggestion that people go to mediation. Sometimes it is, well, it's something that you can talk about, isn't it? I mean, you're talking about a difference of cash, money, or value, the way you see things. You're looking at alternatives where you can do something different, and maybe you still enjoy the benefit of the entire process. and so on. So these are the things that led me in to be in the mediation world. And I enjoy being in the mediation world. And without being a day-to-day mediator, I encounter situations that encourage me to study circumstances where I might write or comment on things that have to do with conflict resolution and mediation. So in the case of the court system, I've done an analysis of the rules of the court, for example, that show where there is some thinking going into those rules that says, look, it's better for why people have to face one another in the preliminary part of the process to get the ball rolling. That is positive, because a lot of times people take each other to court and they don't really even know one another. They just know what happened. And they're taking these, seeing the person on the other side, talking to the person, or even through a lawyer on the other side, but being present in the same room can make a big difference. And so I write on these kinds of things. I look at how sometimes what people might see as adverse circumstances globally or locally can lead to opportunities for people to talk, which can strengthen their ability to solve problems generally. And like there's several instances of those kinds of opportunities. So up to the 30th of November, and I told Vikram that the problem with the 30th of November was that it was Barbados Independence Day, and I would be busy otherwise. So yeah, so Vikram, you wanted to come in?
Yes, because we have to wish you also happy birthday, Francis, and that's why we're
Oh,
doing it today.
thank
That
you
is
very
the
much.
significance of today. That's why we're doing
Today
it
is,
today.
of course, my birthday, and I thank Vikram for going along with my suggestion that rather than the birthday of the nation, you could do it on my birthday, because there's no national occasion for me to attend or anything like that. I'll be at home, and it's just a couple of days later. In any event, after the November the 30th day that was initially suggested. But I found myself, nevertheless, on the 30th of November, still speaking formally to some individuals in Grenada. And one of the things that persons from outside of the region may not appreciate is the closeness of the islands in the Eastern Caribbean. So that a lot of us went to the same universities. If we could have met at different levels, some of us first degree. Yeah,
Let me put it up. Okay, so let me put it up. All the islands there. So we know
so
where. Okay, let's just see first of all where
Barbados
Barbados
is the
is here, and then the
right.
layout so that people can. Okay, so now let's
Yeah,
get into the islands.
right. So Barbados is the furthest to the east, as you might see there, and so we are constantly encountering people from different parts of the
Yes.
especially the island chain, but also as far west as Jamaica, Belize, which is not appearing on the map that is there at the moment, but they all sometimes end up attending the same university. It could be the university could be in Trinidad and Tobago, it could be in Barbados,
Yeah.
it could be in Jamaica, which is on the
Yeah.
northwestern side of that map,
Yeah.
which is pointing to now, and we meet, and we end up having similar issues because we are all former. Belize is to the extreme west there,
Yeah.
um, a little bit further to the
So,
west,
so we
and
have to, yeah. So we have to do one Caribbean mediation circle and get all of them into that.
well, exactly. I didn't want to have to come out to say it, but basically, that may be something that you can look at.
Yes, we have to.
Again, there is always the tendency for people to think that, well, what's going on in their particular island is unique. They'll keep it at that level, and so on. But the truth of it, in fact, is that all of us are dealing with a lot of the similar problems. Right now, there's the talk is a crisis, is about a crisis in the region in terms of criminal activity, crisis in violent crime, and so on. So there's a real need for people to discuss what is going on and what are the best ways to respond to what is happening in our region. So that is part of the story.
Yeah,
And
so for yeah.
yeah, so on the 30th, I found myself speaking to people in Grenada, which is slightly south of Barbados, about the law and resilience. And the reason why I like to look at topics like that is that it always reminds people that the law is not something separate from people. You know, it is irrelevant if we don't have people in the first place. And it's that people made the law, not law made the people. But when people pass laws, it has an impact on behavior, or it could have impact on behavior. And even we have to look at that. We have laws are sometimes passed to address problems. And the question is, are they adequately addressing those problems? How useful is the law? How useful is it for the kind of things that are imposed by the law to actually impose or to work, and so on. So these things lead to discussions that eventually expose where we can talk, where we can mediate, where we can have negotiations about outcomes, et cetera, within that context. So I like to do that. I like to be able to show people that, yeah, the law says this, and now let's analyze that. Let's see how that is working, and where are the problems, where are the stumbling blocks, where are the difficulties. Are people actually talking to each other about these problems, you know, so that even if you don't solve the entire problem, you can find some solutions to some of the problems along the way by simply talking to each other.
But Brother Francis, how much of your law is the colonial legacy?
Well, a lot of it, because we would have started off with the basic common law, which would have included, you know, law of contract, law of tort, which is wrongdoing that doesn't have criminal consequences or characteristics, the law of property, and all of these came out of English common law. And the constitutional law, interestingly enough, would have been a mixture, however, because at the time at which our islands in the region got constitutional independence, there would have been then the existence of conventions coming out of the United Nations, which would have been influenced by various trends of thought, including French law or what one might call civil law, and some common law. They talk about the Magna Carta and so on and so forth. And the American process, it also had an impact on our constitutional development. So, and as would have the experience of countries like India and a few African countries, Ghana, Nigeria, who would have got independence before us in the Eastern Caribbean. So this is where these would have been the sources of law, and therefore there is still a lot of influence coming from the colonial experience in the law of the land. And of course, that in itself is problematic, because that experience was one where it was assumed that a small minority, would be in control of everything, and that was the correct order of things. And of course, that has had to change over time, and with some resistance sometimes, in some areas more than others. Sometimes it's symbolic, sometimes it's real resistance, and so on. So these you can look in the area of even the criminal law, you know, all of the original concepts and definitions come out of the common law. So we even had a recent argument over the definition of rape. And some people felt that rape could not exist without basically the different genders, so that only a man can rape a woman. And the law actually now says, no, a man can rape a man. And therefore it is not confined on the basis of gender. It is confined to what you do, the act that is violent with sexual connotations that makes it rape, and not the fact that it is a man, the gender difference that makes it rape. So we still have that colonial blockage, so to speak, that kind of tries to impose itself bit by bit. With the help of the Caribbean Court of Justice, where we have thinkers who see things differently and who want to develop the law so that we have our own jurisprudence, we have been able to eliminate some of those prejudices and take steps forward in the law. But there's a whole lot more for us to be looking at in the mediation world. There's the marketplace in general. This time of the year, in a lot of countries, the whole question of people go and buy a lot of stuff. Are you buying safe products? Are you buying products that are valued correctly, priced correctly? What rights do you have? Can these things be negotiated? Can they be mediated? A lot of these things are very present.
Yeah. And, what I'm going to do, Francis, is that the discussion of what the Barbados Mediation Circle is about, and basically the World Mediation Circle. Let's get from there, so that at least the idea of what the larger picture, according to me, is. But the first thing in that first step is, you did not become a mediator with that training. You had the mindset. You just connected with it when you went for training. That's the important part, which we have to. Though you've heard me enough talking about this, that those are the people we have to bring out. And if they connect through all these videos which are already on my channel, damn good. Otherwise, we'll create skill development programs. But idea being, let's identify those people who are out there. So let me just put up what the World Mediation Circle is about, which is, of course, available on the website. But let's just discuss it, and I want to take your thoughts on it. So, of course, again, mediatorvikram.com. So, of course, connect and everything is here. So let's just look at the World Mediation Circle, what it's all about. So, World-Wide-Web of Mediation Circles. I'll take you through the various mediation circles which have already been launched and what's coming up. I put a definition of mediation because I felt that everyone looks at it differently, maybe. So let's look at it how I look at it. So, voluntary and informal process, and attempt to reach an amicable settlement with the assistance of a trusted person or persons. So these trusted people are what we have to bring out, and who are already out there, and they are already helping people resolve disputes. So, and to bring a moral, values, principles, and ethics-based humanistic approach to dispute resolution, where heart, soul, spirituality play an important role. So this is the way I look at it, and this is the way you look at it, and that's why we are launching this. And then there are safe spaces for conversations, dialogue, collaboration, and consensus building without activism or advocacy. That's the important part here, that we have to create these spaces. And there is a larger purpose also, that these are people who can actually be brought in various issues, which of course we had spoken about, even the natural disaster. I'll come to those various mediation circles that we launched. So these are people that we need, where actually dialogue can take place, because maybe that's not what's happening. So schools, colleges, organization, communities, and issue-based and all, which I'll take you through that. So we need the people with the mediator mindset, and no special qualification, training, or experience is required. All you need is a mediator mindset, which is what I'm saying, Francis, that you have. And that's what, even without that qualification, training, or anything, you still had that. It's just that it put you into a world which was actually maybe looking at mediation as the focus, but we have people who are already there. And I've differentiated between the mediator and the peacemaker. Mediator has the skill of actually assisting people in resolving the dispute, while the peacemaker brings people together. So we need both the categories, Francis, and we have to create that difference as we go along. And of course, people who generally feel that yes, disputes should be resolved amicably as participants in the larger circle. So for me, this is a community within a community. And hopefully the community grows as we go along. So let's just bring those people out, and just that one question that goes out: who are those people in your family, community, school, college who help people resolve their disputes? So on that, there's a form to fill up. So this is, of course, the larger thing. We'll put out, then we'll circulate separately a Barbados Mediation Circle form, which people can fill up. So what I'm going to do is I'll just take you through the circles which have already been launched. So that's also something which is important to know what all is happening there. So let me do that. So at least you also get an idea, and you have to be involved in the other circles also. So of course, the World Mediation Circle and the resolution revolution, as I call it. So we did the India Mediation Circle, then the World Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. Lots of activity has to happen here. I mean, I feel this is, I mean, there's lots that we have to bring out from every corner, which I've tried to bring out in that first symposium of mine on mediation in our culture and traditions, then the symposium on indigenous peoples and mediation. So already some thing has been brought out. There are lots to happen here. Then, I mean, Michael Lang is known around the world for reflective practice. So this circle, basically, we create these reflective practice groups as part of every circle. So we're working with Michael on that. And the International Commercial Mediation Circle, people who are interested in that area come together. And then we have the UN Sustainable Development Goals Mediation Circle. Again, lots of activity here because each goal can have its own circle, and we can create, of course, and I keep talking about the goal number 17 is made for mediators to basically the collaboration part of it. Then the World Refugee Mediation Circle. And all these launches, of course, the links are there. I'll show you on the website. It's all there. So International Organizational Mediation Circle, Francis, every organization should have a mediator. And
Yes.
once we identify, of course, as we identify people, we bring them out. But for me, I think I felt that the best way is let's just get into organizations, and the same thing that we do in communities and schools, ask them who are those people in your organization. So create a circle around them, because the numbers that we need, Francis, are not available. If of the people of the kind that I'm talking about, and where heart, soul, spirituality, humanistic approach. So we have to bring those, we have to actually, I mean, each identify them there, create the circle there itself. So they don't need someone from outside coming in, but there will be support of people who are already there and taken it up as the full-time activity will always be available. So it's a good thing for them to be outsourced mediators. So that, then the International Family Mediation Circle. I mean, for me, every family can create a circle around them and identify those people there, because that's where the trust comes from. They've seen those people over years. So then this is a game that Massimiliano has developed. So in a way, for people to experience conflict resolution through it's actually cards which are there that you go through those steps. So that's one way of doing it in schools and organizations also. Then we did the Global School Mediation Circle and Global College Mediation Circle. And then of course, the environmental, climate change, natural disaster, and sustainability, all those. Lots of this is like the launches are happening, but over the next year, we'll have activities in each of them. Then the Israel-Palestine Mediation Circle. This next meeting for this, we're going to do on the 12th, which is the International Day of Neutrality. So we'll do that. Of course, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. That was the theme there. And of course, this is what we're doing right now. And then on the 8th, this is a college. Jamia Hamdard is a college in Delhi. So they want to call it a Suleh circle, because Suleh is a term which is used, which is what people identify with that word, and which is what I've always said, that we are not stuck with the word mediation. Whatever people understand in their language, we should use that word, because that connects them to the process. It's not some technical rocket science we're bringing in. You are familiar with the process. You have the mediators there. Bring them out, value them, create a community, and that's the way we want to grow from the grassroots level. So this happens on the 8th. And then artificial intelligence mediation circle. I mean, I don't know whether you saw that session in the World Mediators Conference where we were speaking about artificial intelligence. The idea being that today, ChatGPT, people have an option of going there and actually asking ChatGPT to be the mediator. You can actually do that, and they can take you through the steps. And you give that person a real problem, give ChatGPT a real problem, it'll take you through the steps, and then you can ask for options for solutions in that. It gives you that. So, in a way, we have a first response responder available to everyone in the world right now. So they don't even have to maybe look for someone. So we are identifying those people. The human touch comes in as we go along. But this training part of it that everyone talks about, you have a trained mediator who has content from all over the world. So with Martin, what we're trying to do is trying to create a special, like you have Chat GPT. So uh, think of it as a Ken Cloak GPT. So it's like all the resources in relation to conflict and dispute resolution available. And so of course, as we go along, it gets refined and whatever. So this starts. So that's all going to happen on the 9th. So that's what all is going to happen. And this is what the larger picture on the mediation circles is. But the next step is, which is the community itself is, of course, grows bigger, is available for whatever community issues happen, even national, global. And then finally, we have mediators as leaders. That's what we need. Every at the local level, national, global level. So that's the larger vision. So your thoughts on all this?
Starting at the very end, the mediation, the mediators as leaders idea connects directly to the article I wrote about conflict resolution and disaster and the role of mediators in that particular circumstance, because we have certain things that happen that lead to conflict in the sense of need being so great after the disaster or even during the disaster that individuals act on the need, on the impulse of the need. And it isn't as though because they do that, they should be treated like animals or, legal persons who are just breaking the law or whatever. I think you have to take it to the context of why are they responding to this, dire need, and how should the society respond? How should those who do not necessarily experience the same feelings respond to those with those dire needs at that particular point in time? So this is very, very important for our region, where we, as small societies, we encounter bad weather or hurricanes and so on that cause problems for our communities in more ways than one. And we always end up with some part of the community in dire need. They have lost their homes, or they are unable to move around because the roads are blocked, or they can't get gasoline for their vehicles, they can't get food, and this leads to a desperate response. In those circumstances, the tendency tends to be for some, well, two responses tend to happen. Oh, we need to bring in supplies to reach these people. Nothing wrong with that. Or, well, we need to bring in military personnel, police, etc., to stop people from, looting and that kind of thing. And that is confrontational. So we have to continue to look at these things, with open mind and some imagination, to see what is the best way to actually tackle some of these problems in these small islands that we have, and to see how some of it comes from planning, so that, as it used to be said, we would say in Barbados, the old people used to say, they put aside for a rainy day. We put things aside for a rainy day. So the society has to follow some of these suggestions. You have a resource that you can depend on in the case of of a disaster. And that in itself changes the nature of the discussion after the disaster, because you can immediately point to, okay, we have resources and those resources are going to be deployed to start to help people right away. We don't have to wait for the stuff to come in from another island or to come in from the United States or Canada. We can start talking about supplying resources that we have on the ground, and it at least buys you some time before the anger gets to a level which is unmanageable. So the exercise is one, it involve planning and understanding where mediators can advise at that point, or persons training conflict resolution can advise, but at the very point of also making decisions, mediators can assist and in terms of whose interests are to be served, etc., how that is to be worked out.
But Francis, but just before you, I mean, of course, you have to go on, but before that, let me just say that Terrell has said, "Happy birthday, Uncle Francis." So
Okay.
I have
Okay.
I have sent her a message with the Zoom link. Hopefully, she's listening to me, sees the message, and joins us. So, Terrell, please join us. Yes, sorry, please, Francis.
So thanks. So well, Terrell is my niece, and she's from the Bahamas. And a couple of years ago, I don't remember the exact year, but they had a very serious hurricane there that caused a lot of death and damage, and a lot of it had to do with flooding, high waters. The islands are not mountainous, so you don't have persons can't sort of go to a higher level to get away from rising water. So when the water started to rise, a lot of people just simply got trapped in their homes, persons drowned, etc., etc. I mean, they've bounced back. So they've done the good work of working on trying to deal with that problem. But it is a problem that maybe somebody could have made some effort to, so that it might not have been as bad, but it's difficult to see how, because the hurricane basically sat on the Bahamas for, I think, a number of days. And clearly that would have given rise to levels of need that were unprecedented. And again, we need to have individuals trained so that we anticipate these kind of situations and know how to deal with the clashes, the conflict that would arise in those circumstances. By and large, a lot of people have the level of understanding to know that this is not a time to cause trouble. You know, but there will be those cases. And then in terms of policy itself, there's need for people to iron out decision-making issues in relation to policy itself. What we do next, why A and not B, you know, and so on and so forth, are things that could be mediated. Out of this situation, you can get individuals who are arrested and charged with, let's say, petty crimes and so on. Again, there may be opportunities to mediate some of these situations, because, as I said, a lot of them are arising from need. Persons would not have behaved this way under normal circumstances. This is a very specific situation. Individuals are responding to need, and they may do things that they may not ordinarily do. So the question is, what is the solution there? It's more a question of some kind of community service or something like that you want to encourage them to do to compensate for what happened. But at the same time, taking into account how they have suffered. And they have suffered not at the hands of an individual, but at the hands of nature itself. And it's not to say that we are saying that nature is a bad thing, but we are just saying that sometimes it's simply nature. We can't control nature in a lot of situations. And in a lot of situations where we try to control nature, it makes things worse. So let's accept that we can't negotiate with nature, but we can negotiate the circumstances caused by natural disaster. I think I see Michelle.
Yeah, she's coming in. Her audio is connected. But before that, let me just put up that Francis and I discussed this aspect of natural disasters and mediation. So information can be found if you go to mediatorvikram.com and under edutainment 2023. So this gives you all the what all has happened in 2023. So lots has happened. So this is from January, what date wise, and each of them. Hi, Michelle. You can, yeah, you want to, I'll get this to later. First, of course, you wanted to wish Francis. So please.
Yes, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday, Francis. You know, it's Sunday morning, so I have to get prepared for my church service, but I did not want to miss the opportunity to say happy birthday to you.
Are we going to sing also, Michelle?
No.
Michelle's going to sing. She's there. She's going to. Michelle, please.
No,
my voice,
No, I don't. Not too long ago, woke up. I got to get like freshened up. I'm not a superstar singer now.
Okay,
No.
maybe look, wait. There's Francis's niece who was also there, who wished him on LinkedIn. So I've sent her the message. If she also comes in, then we'll all get together and we'll wish him and we'll sing for him.
That is so cool. Now that'll be cool. Vikram, you could sing.
I will, whatever way I can. I will. I normally look. I think that Peacemakers Day, that celebration we had, we were singing after that, Imagine, and all that was happening. So
you were singing the song Imagine. I love that song.
Yeah, I was doing that. I mean, We Are the World song. We were singing that. So good fun. Why not?
You know what? The Imagine song I sent to you, Francis, remember it was like a couple of months ago. I said, this is my favorite song. You know, it's all about changing the world. And so that's interesting.
That's not the Eric Clapton song you're talking about?
Yep.
Eric Clapton song. Okay.
John Lennon song. John Lennon.
That's a good.
Imagine John Lennon but Eric Clapton's song is "If I Rule the World."
Okay, there you go. That's it.
I Rule the World.
You got to listen to that one, Vikram, because
actually,
that's
yeah, I actually used that song at the opening of a talk I did with mediators in the United Nations and the Ombudsman Office. I started it by playing that music, "If I Rule the World," and letting people listen to the lyrics or try to remember because I might have had an instrumental one. And I found it very appropriate that, although that it is intended to be a love song between maybe a man and a woman or something, the words are so appropriate to a much broader interpretation. But of course, you can't beat Imagine, and Imagine would be on my list as well if we had applied popular music to something that helps people to think like mediators or like conflict resolution individuals, But it is no accident that Michelle and I have become friends because a lot of people may not understand, and sometimes some of us even in the Caribbean region, but some of us who, age myself a bit here, but some of us who grew up in the 70s remember, and before the 70s, because obviously by the 70s, Martin Luther King was already dead. But in the 60s, we remember Martin Luther King. We remember a lot of the heroes of the Black movement of civil rights and so on in the United States. And while some people may think that, well, that's politics and that's about race and so on and so forth, it also teaches a lot about resolving conflict, because what people were going through, it simply couldn't continue the way it was going. Something had to be done. And, there was a difference in tactics. Martin Luther King's tactics were different to what Stokely Carmichael or Malcolm X and so on and so forth all came together to say, we need to talk, we need to change something here. And through that talking, laws were passed, et cetera, made a big difference. So it is always good to have an ear open to the experience of in the United States of civil rights struggles. And although we have a different structure in the Caribbean because we have not been ruled by a minority race in the sense of actual lawmaking, legislative rule, we still have the situation of economic domination of minorities over society. This is something that we have to constantly work at, of trying to see how we can improve that situation. So it is no wonder that Michelle, who would have come from that background, who understands it very well, you're from Baltimore, right, Michelle?
Right.
And Baltimore being like that's kind of like the border between North and South, you would say, Michelle. It's Maryland is kind of like the border between North and South of the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, so things are crucial there, you know. You can find yourself feeling like you're in the South, or you can find yourself feeling like you otherwise. But it doesn't really matter, because civil rights were important for both North and South. And so, you know, we without even having sat down in a class together or gone to the same church or anything like that, we are hearing the same sermon all the time, you know. It's hearing the same sermon.
It's just so crazy how we are so far apart, but we found different things that are similar. And we've even had some like connections with locations like Morgan State University. It's just like so many different things that he's experienced that's so close to my home. So it was just, it's just a perfect, it's just perfect meetup. I'm so glad to have met you, Francis, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks again. You know, one thing, other thing I should say about Baltimore is that decades ago, I took a trip to Baltimore. I was staying in Maryland, closer, somewhere halfway between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. And there was this train that moved between the two. But it wasn't, it wasn't a train that moved between the two. And it kind of stopped at a little platform, maybe that was about 100 yards away from where I was living or something. We kind of had to go through the bush, and we came to this platform and we got on this train and it stopped. And this train went to Baltimore. And that trip was important to me because before I thought of being a mediation, I thought of being a public interest lawyer, so that I would be focusing my energies on things like law relating to the elderly, law relating to the protection of children, gender issues, you know. And I found that there was a center in Baltimore, which I think I saw the last time I passed through there. It's now named after, I think the name of the gentleman is Dorsey. It's now Dorsey Center or something like that. It's named after that gentleman who I actually met. And, you know, he was so, how to put it? You know, when you can see that somebody's living the spirit of something, that he was so into this idea of being the head of this organization and providing these services to the community. And you know, Baltimore would be a perfect community for these services. And I was inspired by that, because I always felt that when I became a lawyer, it wasn't about going out there and making a lot of money. It was about serving people's interests. And I think that I see the mediation aspect of it in the same way, that saving people time, costs, also a lot more than that, because sometimes things can get out of hand and things are done which need not to be, you know, are done which don't help. Then mediation really is a big help in terms of that kind of thing. I see my niece coming on there now. Terrell. Yeah, Terrell is somewhere in the United States, not sure where, or she
near Orlando, 30 minutes out of Orlando. I'm in Winter Park, Florida.
Oh,
Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you can
Yeah.
wish Uncle Francis.
Uncle Francis, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
I heard all the shout outs, so thank you. Thank you, you guys.
Okay.
I was listening, but I didn't see the Zoom link.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on.
And several of the family members, Uncle Francis said they don't have LinkedIn or couldn't get on. So, and we had some stuff happening all over the family. So you'll catch up on that in the chat.
Why?
Okay,
This is
so-
the place. Tell this is the place to catch up on that. Tell us all about it.
So Terrell, meet Michelle. Michelle lives in California.
No, I'm both areas. I'm Baltimore and California. I'll
Okay,
never
nice.
claim just LA. I am a Baltimore girl.
Okay, be more. So you're what they call it, the DMV?
Yes.
The DMV.
I don't know what that means.
It's just like
Maryland,
DC,
Virginia.
Maryland.
Just an acronym.
Yeah, the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I lived in
DC,
Hampton.
Maryland. Okay.
Yeah, I lived in Hampton, Virginia for a stint, and my brother-in-law lives in Maryland.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to get on here and sing happy birthday.
Yes.
I'll gladly do that.
That was the idea. Yes, we were waiting for you. Now, please, of course, look, I should not sing with the voice that I have, but
I don't want y'all to play shy. Is anyone else around Uncle Francis?
I don't know who else is going to come, but I invited a couple of other people, but I don't know who else is going to make it.
It's a lot happening. It's a lot happening. Yeah.
But anyway, someone around you, Francis, right now? Anyone there?
Sorry?
Anyone there around you in the house?
Yeah,
other people to join in.
Here.
So call
Oh,
us.
Serena. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll all sing for you.
My daughter Serena is here with me. Yeah.
She sings beautifully, by the way. She has a lovely voice.
She and her sister both singers.
Please call her, Francis. Let her also join us.
Okay. You don't want to hear me screaming, so I'm gonna mute my mic.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, yeah. No, his two daughters have lovely voices and they're very artistic, gifted young ladies.
Okay, so this is
and
now
they're my little cousins.
so nice.
Oh my goodness. Francis, you didn't tell me they were singers, or did you? Oh my goodness. That's my memory.
They're
and
very
dancer.
They're gifted in many ways, so they're very intelligent.
My father loved to sing in church, but he wasn't a singer otherwise. They want to know if you're coming on. They have to sing happy birthday.
Put her on the spot.
You can tell her that Terrell is here.
Shayna had wanted to call you too.
Shayna wants to
Tell her
call.
I'm here.
Well, tell Shayna to call, and I can put the phone up and see that Shayna, my other daughter, is also calling.
You want me to send Serena the link?
Yeah, exactly. Please send all of them the link. Yeah. If you have a WhatsApp group of the family, please put it there. Let everyone join us.
I did put it there.
Shayna, we need to see you. Hello.
Hold on one sec.
But this is going to become, instead of Barbados Mediation Circle, today is Francis's family's mediation circle. We're launching that today. Barbados we'll do later.
It's his family gathering for his birthday.
So this is Shayna, my other daughter.
Hi, Shayna.
Who's calling from St. Lucia.
Please give her the Zoom link, Francis. You can send her the Zoom link. She can join the Zoom session.
I sent it to Serena just now. I sent it to Serena, so Serena can share.
Unfortunately, and Shayna are two different locations.
So Serena, please join the Zoom link, Serena. Your Zoom link has come to you. Terrell will send the Zoom link to you.
Okay, so the Zoom link is coming to what? Which was Serena?
I sent it to Serena. She can share. I don't have Shayna's number.
Okay, can you share it?
Yes,
I shared it to Serena. Yeah, she can share it to Shayna.
I take a time, I don't know.
They're very quick on the phone when they're ready. They're teens. They can't play that with me. I have 5 children, so I know how fast they can go.
Terrell's story in the mediation world is that I don't know that she's a mediator, but Terrell has been instrumental in keeping the family together.
That's a mediator? That's a mediator for us. Peacemaker for us. She's a peacemaker for us. Okay, she's a peacemaker.
Family chat, online, which my generation would never have thought of something like that. But you see how the younger generation sees this as an opportunity. And when my father died, we were then all introduced, although I think it existed before that, but we were then all introduced formally to the idea of a family chat and keeping in touch with one another in various parts of the world. So I've got a niece in South Africa. I have one in London. I have about three or four in Jamaica, 2 or 3 in Bahamas, one in the United States, two in a nephew in the United States, and a niece, and so they're all over the place. So
and don't forget the ones there with you in Barbados. There are a ton of them there.
Happy birthday.
So this is Shayna saying that she called to say, "Fish be happy birthday." Yes, Shayna.
Yay.
Please send Shayna the Zoom link. She can join the Zoom link. Join the Zoom session.
Enjoying it. I'm being so hopefully
They're shy. They're being shy, Uncle Francis.
Well, she doesn't have the link, so
okay.
You're sending it.
Maybe Serena would get.
I sent it to Serena. Serena would have to forward it to Shayna because I don't have Shayna's phone number.
She doesn't have my other number, so.
Okay. All right. So Serena.
It's a different number. I have the St. Lucia number.
Yeah, Serena is trying to set that up. Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah,
that
so
means we have to get all of them, Francis, into the mediation circle, because Terrell, the idea is not of you being a mediator, as in putting it out there that I'm practicing as a mediator. It's just the mindset. That's all we need. People with that mindset, which you are going to do. You're going to go through my website, mediatorvikram.com, and you'll read about the World Mediation Circle. You'll find a form there. Please join us. We have lots to do. All your whole family itself is someone that you can bring together. That by itself is important. And get those people out. That's what we want to do.
It's good to have the family chat because we're spread out, and WhatsApp has been definitely a saving grace for all of us, and a saving in wallet in terms of the expense of phone calls. I remember when, my mom is one of 7, so Uncle Francis is one of 7 children. And I remember, our two aunts who were not in Barbados. One was in Jamaica, one was in Nigeria. And I remember as a child, just the coordination of phone calls to Nigeria and Jamaica was a big deal. And so now to have WhatsApp and Zoom, and I guess prior to this, Skype, it's been something that's been intriguing to me. So as often as I can get family involved in connecting in a, technologically in this type of fashion, I think it's worth it. Like we do creative writing workshops. So Serena has participated in one of my workshops, and just trying to, as we have events, link up with everybody.
Where is Serena located?
Serena is in Barbados with Uncle Francis, but Shayna is in St. Lucia with her mama, with Uncle Francis's wife.
So what you're going to do is we're going to put up the map of the world, and then we'll find out where everyone is located. Let's have a look at that. It's interesting to see how Zoom has got us all together. So this is where Barbados is, and let's go zoom out. Let's see where all we are. So St. Lucia is here.
St. Lucia is slightly to the north.
Yeah. So then let's go.
Northwest.
Now we have to reach Florida. So Florida is here. This is where
the Bahamas is east of Florida.
And this is where this is
I'm
where
in Orlando.
Yeah, you're here. Michelle is here. Yeah, she's here. Yeah,
she's in between Maryland and Cali, right? California.
And then we're going all the way across the world. We're traveling through everything, and we're going to get to India now. So this is where we're going to get here. I'm here. So we're across the world right now.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a niece in South Africa and one in London.
South Africa.
That really puts it in perspective on how well we can all communicate with one another and work towards changing through peacemaking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a part of a group called Young Entrepreneurs Alliance, and we coach people in Uganda and Ghana, and this is all via Zoom. And it was the brainchild of one of my friends, Carol Witt, as a young entrepreneur. She's 68 years old now. Sorry about that. Hold on. She's 67 or 68 now. And she said that as a young entrepreneur, she didn't have like a cheering team, like a team to cheer her on with her business dreams and pursuits. And so at age whatever she was, she said, I'm going to create this group. And it started off with just like maybe 3 or 4 people. Then those people invited friends. And so now we have like participants all over. For sure, we had one of our coaches visit Ghana maybe 3 years ago, and he met one lady, and that one lady brought 64 people to the next course. And so we had to create a Team Africa for our program. And so I was a head coach in that, and just to see what people in Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, I think we have 1 or 2 students in South Africa. We just have somebody, I can't remember the city in India, but a young lady who was my daughter's finance coach online. She was doing a little financial course. This coach is now going to be in our young entrepreneurs program because she wants to, it's amazing how when you meet people, when you tap into what their purpose is, like if you speak about something and someone is touched, moved, or inspired by what you're saying, how they just open up and they tell you their dreams. And when you can hear someone's dreams, sometimes you know somebody who can help them. And so that's what this group pretty much does. It's just, we act as liaisons for each other.
No, the whole idea for me also was that I kept saying my 1,000 reach 1,000. We have 1 million people with the mediator mindset and with the peacemaker mindset. It's actually something where I'm just waiting for Michelle also to get activated. One of these days she will, and we'll reach out to more people. The problem is they don't have time to do it. So now I have
get activated, and I'm not part of the circle.
You are, but we have to reach further in. You have to create your little Maryland mediation circle, and we have to do the US mediation circle. So I'm waiting for you to give me time.
You got Francis through me.
Yes, I know. So that's why I'm saying now he's taken the lead on the Barbados Mediation Circle. You have to take the lead on the US Mediation Circle.
Okay, I'm going to work on that.
Yeah, we're going to launch. We'll launch it soon. But the main thing is that the idea was that mediation is one of those things that we can definitely do online and not a problem. We have a global database of people. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you trust the person, and it can all happen online. So that's the global community, online community that I'm trying to create. And there are lots of people there, Michelle. There are lots of people connected already. And we just have to go now we have to go down to the grassroots level and identify them in schools, colleges, communities, families. Family is important. Terrell has come out and Francis says she connects everyone. That's what we need, those people. Every family has someone like that. Every community has those people. They're just not being brought out because no one thinks it's a skill. It's just a way of life for them. Terrell doesn't think it's a skill for her. She just does it. It's something that comes naturally.
Yeah, it's just love. I like to see people be successful and happy. I struggle when I know someone in my circle is unhappy or isn't able to. I actually participate in a lot of different activities that have nothing to do with me, often have to do with my loved ones, because I want them to have a connection. I'm in the US, the land of plenty. And so I try to make sure that I'm listening for opportunities always, even outside of my profession or skills. So yeah, that's something that I think that's innate though. Not everybody does that, but it's a good practice. Listen to the people in your life and see how you can reach back if you are moving forward to say, hey, what did you say you wanted to do? So that everybody's sort of moving forward together, even though some people may take longer than others. But just to reach back and make sure that everybody is, and sometimes reach forward. Sometimes you're ahead and then you get lost. Like you just get to a point where you're stopped and you don't know which way to go next. And so sometimes you got to look around to see if there's somebody with a different point of view, you know?
But
group. This is a nice group, not because I'm getting to yap, but because I like the thought of mediation and conflict resolution, which is Uncle Francis's thing.
It's your thing also, Terrell. It's your thing also.
It is. I do.
Yes.
I do. I do a lot of it. I was doing some, I don't know how I stumbled in it, but it was through that same YEA couples coaching. I did another program which had me speaking to people who were married, couples. And I ended up doing a lot of marriage coaching because a mediator came to me. She couldn't do the coaching herself. She was too attached. And so she came to me and she fed me a few clients. And that was an interesting experience as a couple. I've been married for 22 years.
You can hesitate. You have to know you have to know it like that. Someone's
My
not going to
husband-
be very happy with you.
The key is my husband is better at that than I am. So once I keep him happy and he can remember how long
You do know this is going live. It's recorded. Someone's going to watch it.
That's okay. That's okay. He's my best friend, so he knows I struggle with it. But he is very good at it. Remembers everything and on time. So that is the key. So I'm doing something right. Because if not, he would not be interested. I'm focusing on the important things, not the things.
No, but we have to get Serena, and also Serena's here, Francis, but she hasn't put her video
Yeah.
on.
So I'll get to Serena, but Terrell, so I think the comment about love, is very important because, I find myself reflecting on that a lot as a mediator and in the role that I play, even as a judge. The thing is that you can't love, to my mind, you can't love something called the law if you don't love people. Because I don't know what it is you're going to love about the law if it isn't applicable to people's lives and hopefully making people's lives better. Because if all you're doing is doing something which somebody's going to declare that you're right or wrong, but it's making people's lives worse, then I don't know that you can love that thing. So I think that it's important that you have pointed out that in your work with your young entrepreneurs and so on, the circle really is driven by love. And I think that mediation circles are going to have to rely on a similar thing. And if you don't have that helping to drive you, you want to see people solve their problems. You want to see people learn how to talk to each other and listen. You use the word just now. You're teaching on here without being a mediator. So the listening is so important, right? In the mediation practice and in mediation training, active listening. A lot of people think they listen, but they already hear. And they actually tell you, I hear you. But it doesn't mean that they're listening to you.
It's because there's something with listening and hearing. So some people are listening to you, but they're not hearing what you're saying. Exactly. So there's a twist to that as well. So when some people hear what you're saying, they hear you, they may not agree, but they hear you. And so then you're acknowledged when you hear somebody. Some people listen and they're listening to everything that's going on, but they're not focused or hearing exactly what you have to say. So there's a twist to that language. The words are very important. And I learned that in a different program. I told you about it, Uncle Francis, the Landmark Forum. That program helped me significantly with my listening and hearing of my father, like hearing what he had to say, because he would often say, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. And I'm like, why does he not feel heard?
Yeah.
And so, but that program had me ask that question. Why is this person not feeling heard? That's a serious thing as the listener to look at and pay attention to. Why is this person feeling that I am not hearing them? And I had to address those issues within me first. I couldn't focus on them. I had to sort me out first before I could even hear them properly. And that changed my world, really, with my spouse, my kids. I needed my loved ones to feel heard. That was very important.
You never stop learning, especially sometimes with family members and things, you have an encounter and something happens and you react the way you kind of normally react. But you shouldn't do that. And then the person tells you, but you really can't tell me that I shouldn't do that. This is what I feel.
Right.
hearing me. How could I have said that? How could I
Let me
have said
tell you,
that?
but Francis, let me tell you, you write poetry, but I just asked ChatGPT to write a poem on this. Let's read the poem. This is how much technology we have on our hand. On listening,
Oh, okay. Oh, ChatGPT.
yeah, it's got to be written a poem on this. Let's just read it. This is original stuff right now. I mean, this is not anywhere else. This is what we've just got. Let's see. Let's see. So, because what we're trying to get you is a little inspired, Francis, to write poetry, which you are good at.
You know, I once wrote a poem very similar to that, and they told me that I was writing prose and not poetry, but it was very similar to this poem here, very similar.
And Michelle is going to read it out to us. Michelle, please read it out to us.
Oh my goodness, why not? Okay.
On the spot.
I like Terrell's nice voice though. Okay, in a world where silence speaks echoes in the spaces between, there's a dancing song of soul, yet some just hear, they don't console. Ears wide open, minds closed tight, lost in the noise, missing the light, hearing without listening, a common theme, caught in the echoes of an unspoken dream. But we're listening without hearing, lost in the melody, the meaning disappearing. In the symphony of light, a delicate art, here with your heart, not just a part. Whispers of wind and rustling leaves, stories unheard like untold sieves. Eyes open wide, but ears sealed tight, missing the tales in the silent night. In the noise of the city, the urban sprawl, hearing without listening, we stand tall. But the symphony of life plays on in every heartbeat, in every dawn. Yet we're listening without hearing, lost in the melody, the meaning disappearing. In the symphony of life, a delicate art, here with your heart, not just a part. This is pretty. This is
It's so lovely.
And this is something that we got right here. So yes, we're still going on, Michelle. Close your eyes, open your mind.
Close your eyes, open your mind, let the vibrations of existence unwind. Feel the rhythm of the unspoken word. In the silence, the sweetest chords are heard. A lover's sigh, a child's laughter, echoes of joy, the morning after. Yet in the
cacophony
we often miss the beauty in the subtle, the simple bliss. So let's break the change, unbind our ears, listen with intention, conquer our fears. Hearing without listening, it's time to mend. In the symphony of life, find a true friend. No more listening without hearing, no more lost melodies, no disappearing. In the symphony of life, play your part. Hear with your soul, let it touch your heart. For in the quiet, the whispers unfold, a world of stories waiting to be told, hearing and listening, a dance so fine, in the rhythm of existing, let your soul align.
Oh, who owns this now? Does ChatGPT own this or do I own it? Because I prompted it to write this.
I think you own it.
I think so. And I think I need you to send that to me.
I think I would screenshot it, and I think that you should post that someplace or print it, put it in print.
What I'll do is let me send you
I
the
give
link.
you permission once you put my name on there. I just would like a little bit of credit.
Yeah, no, I'm sending you the link. You can please use the link. Please send it out to people. Look, why this is important is because we were talking about a unit. I don't know whether you were listening to the World Mediation Circle and what it's all about. It is about a humanistic approach to dispute resolution where the heart, soul, spirituality play a role. And this fits in very well because listening is something that people are told in training. And I have an issue with training in general for mediators, but they're just told about that limited aspect of listening and active listening. But there's much more of listening which has to connect from the heart, the soul, and all that aspect of it, which brings it out very well here. So
that was perfect.
Yeah, so it fits in really well with the whole
Really,
concept.
that's really a nice point. Very good.
Because I think you people are going to, of course, Tyrell is going to put it into us. Of course, it is a song, so now she's going to sing it to us when she's ready with it.
Nice. I like your style. That's not happening. I will sing happy birthday gladly.
Yes, that's going to happen. What's Serena doing? Serena's there,
Serena is here.
but she's
So
on
I
the. She's
wanted to say that Serena was the president of her students association at school, at her high school. And, you know, it's really a learning experience about life and other people and so on and so forth. And it's interesting how when you look back at when you were that age and sometimes you wonder, well, how did I deal with some of these issues? You know, the clashes of personalities, the clashes of ambitions, even at that age. And how does as a student leader at that age deal with those issues? And I think she did pretty well in terms of everything, you know, because that age group, they don't have the experience to deal with those kind of organizational differences, et cetera, et cetera. And this is why I think we have to also train teenagers and maybe even younger people in mediation. That has always been part of the vision.
The only difference, Francis, is always going to be that I will never say train them. I'm saying they already have the skill. We just have to bring them out, and skill development we'll do. But why I put out this chat GPT also was that actually they can go there and they can learn so much about conflict resolution and dispute resolution, and there is so much material there, but which we are going to do. I don't know whether Michelle, you were there listening to this session. We are going to do on the 9th, launching the artificial intelligence mediation circle, and we are going to try to create something specifically in relation to conflict resolution. So we have all the content there. All that is happening because I feel that by the time we identify everyone, up till then we have to have some bridging period where we'll bring ChatGPT in and let people benefit from that. Let them use it. I mean, I don't think there is any fear in any way because it's someone just helping you. You don't like it, you can always shut it. Once forcing you to use it, but at least you have someone to go to, which people don't have today, Francis. Those people with wisdom in communities and families, sidelined. Those have been sidelined. Totally a different approach in relation to just a community coming together. So I think we have that as an assistant, and maybe more than just an assistant, someone who can actually help a lot. Yes. So Michelle, what do you think? Artificial intelligence mediation circle.
Well, you know, seeing how it was so easy for ChatGPT to put together everything that Terrell and Francis was discussing and things that's been in my mind, it put it together so well and so clearly. It discussed the effects of not listening, and then at the end it brought it all together and it gave a solution as to or concluded to how listening effectively is beneficial. I love it. I'm all in. You got me. I'm a supporter of ChatGPT now.
Yes, and we've actually done this. We've done mediations with ChatGPT.
I've
With
never
ChatGPT
done.
being the mediator. You know, one of my sessions in the World Mediators Conference, we did that. ChatGPT was made the mediator, and this was a situation that people put out right there, and it gave very nice options, and I went through the process really well. So to be used if we have technology in hand, not to fear it, not to think that it's going to take away anything. Everyone will keep talking about, oh, the human touch and all. I'm saying that people through training are being programmed to be mediators. So ChatGPT can do a much better job because it has content from all over the world, the best available. When you're talking about training, you don't even know what the person is doing, what they're talking about here. It's got, I mean, the best in the world telling it everything, and it's just putting it all out. I mean, I think it's something which we really need to use right now because we need to reach as many people, and everywhere in the world someone has a mediator. That's what I like about it, that you can just go
Vikram,
there and start.
Could I ask how that process that we just went through, how was it actually? What were the mechanics you had turned on?
You just put chat, yeah. You just go to ChatGPT. You go to ChatGPT. You have to do a little login.
Listen to our conversation and just work that out.
Yeah, you just go to once you've gone to ChatGPT and you've logged in, all I did was I just said this: write a song on hearing without listening and listening without hearing. That's all I said. And
okay.
So it's actually what they're saying today is that the jobs that are going to come out is how to give prompts to ChatGPT. That's going to be the jobs in the world because everything else it can do. How do you get information out? Asking the right questions. That is what we keep talking about. This is where you have to use it properly, and you can get the best out of it.
So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think one of the main challenges, because I have children ages 21 to 5, one of the main challenges that I'm seeing through the different age groups of schooling. So I have college age, high school age, almost middle school, primary, elementary. Um, I what I see the instructors struggling with Chat GBT is the plagiarism aspect. So at this stage in our lives, when you can put your prompt in and create with this app, pretty much, it's a beautiful thing. So I have a children's book. I want to create illustrations. I don't have to look for an illustrator right now. Whereas years ago, when I wrote this same book years ago, I went through trying to get the exact imagery that I want. Now I don't get exactly what I want through the chat GPT. I have to go through several requests of chat GPT to come up with something. But what I have is I have a sample which now I can take to an artist and they can create for me.
Yeah.
So there's some very, very wonderful things that are coming from it from my perspective. I attend Full Sail University here in that's why I'm here in Winter Park, because I lived in Tampa up until June. I moved up here to go to school for the next 2 years with the family. And one of my goals was to get all these projects that are in my head out of my head. So I've been getting support, and some with from friends who understand Chat GPT, and it's not as challenging as I thought. I just was, like you said, intimidated by it. But I have a lot of friends who are very, very at this school, because it's all about the arts and technology and everything is at this institution. And yeah, Chat GPT is where a lot of the creatives are going.
Look, also, I don't know about why schools and colleges have an issue. What is the attempt of a school that your children should get the best education? How do you get the best education? To get the best teachers and professors? ChatGPT has all that information that a professor would have
Oh,
got through years of their training. If a person sitting in one corner of the world can get access to all the best in the world, that education, of course, is much better. Instead of that one teacher sitting there with their, I'm saying limited knowledge. I'm sure they have lots of knowledge, but limited. It's their limited
yeah,
knowledge. Now, if you have access to the best of everything in the world, and you can actually ask questions and learn at your pace. It's not about, okay, I don't know about what's your schools and all. Here they have 50 children in a school. How much can a teacher do with 50 children? Each of them has their way of learning. Here that you have individualized learning. How
yeah.
does it get any better than that? And what is it? It's available to everywhere, everyone in the world. You don't need a structure. You don't need a school. You have education available to you. This should not be fear of. I mean, this whole thing about
That
oh,
is
this.
that is the fear. The fear is what now happens to all these people who were employed in this way.
Yeah.
What they're not seeing is the pivot. When you have a tool like this, then you just pivot how you teach. So that is what these systems that already exist, they don't move quickly enough for the technology that is also being created. So if we
Oh,
could just, as human beings, we constantly have to struggle with this transition of this transition when the technology is happening. I mean, millions of people are being left behind because they're a no to change. And if you can't, in this world, if you have significant resistance to change, to listening, to learning from other people that don't look like you, that don't sound like you, you're going to be in big problems, because the world is really smaller due to technology. It's just,
but no, but
if you don't handle on Chat GPT, you're gonna be left behind. Based
yeah.
on what I see at this school. This school is everything having to do with entertainment. I mean, I'm in a recording arts degree right now. I thought I was going in there to create like boutique studios around the Caribbean, so I can go anywhere and have a nice wholesome studio to create. That's my kids moving about. But like,
But
right now,
tell it just
every
okay.
every student has a laptop.
But get your children in. Don't they want to wish, Francis?
They're going
Yep.
outside. They're going for, we're doing 30 minutes a day walking so that I can get my health in order and my life in order. And they're leading the charge. I'm supposed to be out there with them. So they're in and out on their roller skates and stuff like that. They're not really
But what do we
here.
call Francis? Are we going to call Francis grand uncle? Now he's a grand uncle. Do we have grand uncles?
That's what he is, but they call him Uncle Francis. They would refer to him as Uncle Francis.
Oh, we have.
We don't
we
get
have-
to see Uncle Francis much. We don't get to see him much because of where he is, where we are. So we don't see each other in person. But and then
in
my
person
kids
is
are
out. In person is out. There is no concept of in person
Well,
now. Everything is going to be like this.
Terrell got
that?
married. So
I-
you know, I kind of helped her to start the process. But you know, so I was at the wedding, right?
Yeah, but your dad is who officiated. My granddad officiated our wedding. So that was a blessing. I was the only grandchild out of what, 20, how many of us? 23, 24 of us?
Something
There are
like
about 20 children, and
That's a-
I was the only one that he officiated.
That's
Well,
a-
yeah, not a lot of us aren't married though, so it's only a
That's
few
a
of us.
circle by itself, Francis. We have now. I think we're making your family circle first. Barbados comes later. We'll have about 100, 200, 300 people within this by itself. How many people are we going to have in that family circle? Let's do that.
Yeah.
What do we call it? The Francis Belle Mediation Circle.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come.
Done. It's done now. Francis Belle, that's what's going to happen. Francis Mediation Circle is happening, and we're getting all of them in, and then they take it further. That's how we grow. This is how that revolution grows. So that's
You know, I'll help you market it, Uncle Francis. I'll help you market it. I'll do my little Canva flyers for everybody. Set it up. My
That would
chat
help.
GPT flyers.
That would help.
You know, Vikram, I noticed that you use chat GPT, the 3.5 version. Are you gonna use the 4.0? I know that's paid for.
paid. I don't do anything paid except Canva. I do Canva paid because I do all
I
my
do Canva
design.
paid too. I love Canva. I love Canva.
Because everything happens on that, so I have to do that. Although they're simple designs, but they have to happen there.
I paid for
wait.
Canva. I paid for Canva and Zoom, and I paid for
Yeah,
Zoom
Zoom
because I
also.
had this couple and they kept going over my 45-minute mark, and I was like, I need more time for them.
And you know why I need it? Because my shows go on for maybe we had one in conversation with Michelle. There's one show
Yes.
called In Conversation with the Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
4.5 hours, Michelle.
What?
4.5 hours.
Yeah,
Non-stop, no break in between.
yeah, that's a fact.
My goodness.
I had a lot to talk about, you know.
Okay, that's the record up till now, Michelle. That's how we've gone.
Mm.
Longest that we've gone up till now.
Y'all
Oh
want to
my-
come sing happy birthday to Uncle Francis? Come.
Good. We have the fam. But
Okay, I got two. I got 2 out of my 5. One is in Tampa because that's
Hello.
where we moved from. But
But
I have-
Tyrell, if you put your phone on 90 degrees, just turn it 90 degrees, we'll get all of them in, I think. If you turn your phone 90, yes, we have.
There you go.
Hello.
Hey,
Names.
hello.
We need names now. We need names.
That's Alexis. The older one is Alexis, and this is Belle. So
So-
Uncle Francis's last name is Belle,
Mhm.
and I named my baby Belle.
Wow.
Oh,
My mom's first name is Grace, and so my eldest is named Grace, and my 5th is named Belle.
that's nice.
hey.
And that's Michelle, and I'm Vikram. Mediator
Yes.
Vikram is what I'm known as. That's my
Uncle-
that's my name now.
Yeah.
So-
So whenever you're ready, Serena, you still there?
Yes, Serena's here.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever she's ready, she could count us off and
Are you
get
going
us going. with her.
Serena, are you going to join us on Zoom? Are you going to
On her phone.
Yeah, she
Yes,
can,
not-
she can unmute herself
We just can't see her. We just can't see her.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself on Zoom and you can show us on yourself on Zoom, and let's go. Let's wish Uncle Francis. Let's call him Uncle Francis now. Uncle Francis Mediation Circle.
That actually would work.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it would
Francis, now it's going to be Uncle Francis Mediation Circle.
That's nice.
it's going to go out. All of you are going to get a little flyer where you're going to
Vikram,
get
change his name to Uncle Francis on his thing.
done in 1 second. It's done. We don't need to
Uncle Francis Mediation Circle. It's a family affair. That's your slogan.
Yeah.
And then you use the song. It's a family affair.
Perfect. Look, this is we have such creative people here. Serena, what's the situation? Are you ready to sing?
Yes.
And are you going to say hi to your, are you going to say hi to your nieces?
Cousins.
Cousins. They're cousins.
Yeah,
They'll be niece.
They're her second cousins. I'm her first cousin.
Oh my goodness.
There's a second cousin. They'll be, aren't they? If they are your children, aren't they going to be her nieces?
No,
What's that?
Oh, they're cousins.
Serena and I are cousins.
Yeah. And the kids will be nieces of Serena.
Yeah.
Won't they?
So those would be.
They'd be cousins, just second cousins. But you know, I don't know if that's culturally age-wise. When we were growing up, we would have called Serena auntie.
Yeah.
It was so much because she was so much older, out of, you know, reverence, out of respect. Anybody like more than 10, 15 years older than you are, you would refer to them as auntie. We're in the Bahamas. So you ready, Serena? You got to start this thing off.
Unmute. Let's go.
Where's
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Uncle Francis.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday, happy birthday. This is your day, but we'll have all the fun. Boom, boom, boom. Happy birthday, happy birthday. This is your day.
What happened?
We'll have fun.
Thank you.
Hip, 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 hooray! Hip, hip, hip. Whose birthday is it? Uncle Francis.
No cake here yet.
That's our party chair.
Well, now I got ChatGPT in again. I like to do this. A birthday song for Uncle Francis. Let's see what it writes. It's just writing something. Let's see what it's writing. It's very interesting to do this, actually. We have a creative person in the house all the time. Why not use it? Okay, a long song is it? Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh,
my name is now enshrined in ChatGPT.
Yeah, okay, so Uncle Francis, we have a song for you. And it's good. Yeah, here. Happy birthday, Uncle Francis, with a heart so kind. And Terrell is going to read it. Terrell, please, why don't you read it for us?
Happy birthday, Uncle Francis, with a heart so kind. In the world of harmony, you're a rare find. A mediator so wise, bringing peace with grace, guiding us through conflicts at a steady pace. Oh, Uncle Francis, mediator so true, bringing people together, that's what you do. With a smile on your face and a calming air, you make the world brighter everywhere. In the midst of chaos, you moved it. In the midst of chaos, you stand so tall, resolving disputes big and small. Your words are a balm, soothing every storm. In your presence, harmony takes form. Oh, Uncle Francis, mediator so true, bringing people together, that's what you do. With a smile on your face and a calming air, you make the world brighter everywhere. On this special day, we celebrate you, the mediator extraordinaire, so noble and true. With gratitude and love, we raise a chair for Uncle Francis, the one we hold dear. Your wisdom is a beacon shining so bright, navigating conflicts, bringing day from night. With empathy and patience, you men each divide. In your presence, unity and peace abide. Oh, Uncle Francis, mediator so true, bringing people together, that's what you do. With a smile on your face and calming air, you make the world brighter everywhere. So here's to you, Uncle Francis, on your special day. May joy and peace surround you in every way as you mediate life's journeys with grace and finesse. Happy birthday, dear Uncle, our mediator. God bless.
Wow, look at that. You get such a beautiful song right there. Uncle Francis, this is going to be the theme song for the Uncle Francis Mediation Circle.
That is nice.
Amazing.
Shakespeare had this thing, at his disposal.
Yeah. And now what you're going to do is you can actually, I mean, in relation to mediation, of course, I'm using the word training here, what people do with training. We'll ask ChatGPT to do that. Okay, you have to develop the skill of this person who has that mediator mindset and give us everything there. So why not use all that?
Vikram of the Barbados Mediation Circle, okay? So be claiming it.
There you go. There you go. Just it's nothing to it but to do it.
Yes.
I don't know if Vikram heard me. That we claiming the poetry. Barbados Mediation Circle.
Okay, we'll put something out there. Yes, let's check this out. A song for, but give us some words, key words. Song for the Barbados Mediation Circle. But any keywords that you want to give?
We're small, but we need it. Conflict still exists.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to ask it to do make something in relation to the humanistic approach to dispute resolution. I think that's what we're going to ask it to do. So give us something.
Get that one though.
Let me put it from what I use in my World Mediation Circle text. Let's use that. Let's try. But Michelle, why didn't you tell everyone about yourself? Let them also know about you.
Me?
Yes.
Oh goodness, that you threw me off. I am, well, we all know I'm in I'm about to be in Baltimore. So guess what, Francis? Well, no, I told you, Francis, I think that I am surprising my mom because her birthday is Saturday, December 9th. I said, Francis, it has to be the reason why I like you so much because his birthday is so close to my mom's birthday. So we're surprising her. We leave on Wednesday. My son, who's in LA, we're going to take the train. We're going to do a 3-day excursion and surprise her on her birthday. So that's going to be really, really cool. So, but she's not part of the circle, but she's just part of it through me. I am, of course, a peacemaker. I come from a background filled with conflict, and I think that's what has developed my will and want to help others with conflict resolution and peacemaking. Of course, Baltimore is filled with conflict. We have a huge crime rate going on, and it's involving children now, and so my goal is to, I always try to touch the kids because they're the future, and Baltimore is lacking a future if we keep on killing and incarcerating our kids. And with Francis, with him being in the court system, I look at what people look at as justice, and is justice punishment or is justice change? For me, justice is change. Punishment, you just can't just keep punishing a person and think that they're going to understand that their behavior was wrong, because it's almost like conflict on top of conflict. You can't beat me into knowing that beating someone is right, So it's just, I try to bridge that gap in between understanding what punishment versus change looks like. I'm a professor. I teach the social sciences and social justice courses. Yeah, that's about it. That's me.
Tell you what you have to do is, if you go to YouTube, just search Mediator Vikram. No, yeah, you just put Mediator Vikram and you put Michelle Edison. You'll get all the things that she's been part of. There's a playlist also on my channel with all the events she's been part of. Same thing you do with Uncle Francis. But don't write Uncle Francis, you might not get anything. But Mediator Vikram, Francis Belle, and you'll get all the things that he's been part of. The other way is you can go to mediatorvikram.com and you'll find a whole list of things that have happened. So you'll find all that.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. I saw you on LinkedIn, so I said I'm going to make sure that I make contact there. That's why you were able to see me. I was communicating directly on LinkedIn, so I'll definitely check everybody out and see what's going on, because I like this concept of creating the mediator groups within your own, what do we call them? Our own tribes. So you might, any individual has several tribes. So your religious tribe, your professional tribe. So looking at your tribes and creating the groups through there.
Exactly.
Healthy way to go about approaching it if you want to have exponential growth.
Exactly. That's what you're going to do. You're going to help us. But now what we have to now put, this is the song for the Barbados Mediation Circle, Francis. Who's going to read this out now?
You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's go. In the land where oceans meet, under the Barbados sun, a circle forms, a mediation begun. With moral values as our guide, principles we hold dear, a humanistic approach, we'll find solutions clear. Barbados Mediation, a circle of the heart, where souls connect and disputes depart. In the dance of ethics, we'll find our way, spirituality guiding a brighter day. Gather round the circle, let respect be our song. Each voice is heard, no judgment is prolonged. With empathy we listen to stories untold. In the heart of mediation, compassion unfolds. Oh, the waves of understanding washing over the shore. Barbados Mediation, where unity is restored. Barbados Mediation, a circle of the heart, where souls connect and disputes depart. In the dance of ethics, we'll find our ways, spirituality guiding a brighter day. With integrity as our compass and truth as our guide. In this circle of wisdom, let compassion reside. Let us weave a tapestry of justice and grace, a harmonious resolution in this sacred space. Through the winding, winding path dialogue, we'll explore. Finding common ground, we'll open the door to a world where differences are bridges, not walls. In the Barbados Circle, understanding calls. Oh, the waves of understanding washing over the shore. Barbados Mediation, where unity is restored. Barbados Mediation, a circle of the heart, where souls connect and disputes depart. In the dance of ethics, we'll find our way, spirituality guiding a brighter day. As the sun sets on this circle, a resolution is born. Barbados Mediation, where compassion is sworn. In the rhythm of harmony, let love lead the way. Circle of light shining every day.
So we have a theme song now. Sounds all right. So this is how amazing this is, Michelle. Isn't it amazing?
That is really good. I'm impressed.
Good. It's like me selling ChatGPT to people. I don't know why I do this. I love doing this because people don't realize that there is so much out there. Why not? I mean, we have a poet in the house, we have a mediator in the house, we have a peacemaker in the house, we have a teacher in the house, we have everything there. Why not use it? I mean, we've got technology at our hands. Let's use it. And of course, the paid version, I don't know, Terrell, might be even better. We don't know what's happening there, but we'll get to know.
You know, I like, there's a line in that song. It said, each voice is heard, no judgment is prolonged. I really love that. I was like, when I read it again, I said, you know, everybody is being heard. And initially there may be judgment, but it's not continued. It ceases. And I love that concept because we're all humans. So we do, you know, the natural thing is to look and judge and discern based on our past and whatever we have brewing in our minds and hearts. But like when you're in this group, you know, it's a safe space. It's a beautiful thing.
You're getting the link to the earlier one also gone to people. This one was also gone. Of course, you can make changes in it if you want. But this is the idea behind the circles. This is and it's all out there. ChatGPT knows it. There was some, I think that some posts that I put out. artificial intelligence is greater than natural stupidity. when artificial intelligence knows so much, why not? Why do we have this whole natural stupidity going around with all various things? So yes, we have access to all that. Let artificial intelligence lead the way if it has to.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So I'm inspired that this Barbados Mediation Circle launch has created such an opportunity for, that kind of input or output, depending on how you see it, poetry, and song, and so on, that representative of not just what we talked about, but also representative of the potential of mediation, from a mediation circle. So, really an event that is to be remembered. So there ain't no champagne or cake and thing, but there's a lot of cake in the substance of what we have discussed. A lot of sweet stuff, a lot of sweet stuff, man. So I love it.
So Uncle Francis had all the family there. That's so nice of that. If Terrell knew even earlier, she would have got everyone here. But of course,
I got the little what's it, the notification. I don't know if when it was sent, but I only just got it. Like when I joined, I got it, and I heard Uncle Francis saying that he had sent it out to some people, and he'll see how it turns out. And so for me, I was available just because I had been on the phone communicating with my family in the Bahamas. So I saw it and I sent it out, as much as possible. Then like one or two people said, "Oh, LinkedIn, I'm not on LinkedIn." And so I just tried. I couldn't find the Zoom link, so I sent it. I did my part.
Good.
In the time frame that I had.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's short notice, but yes, good. At least we got some
So
people together.
knowing about it in advance is helpful to me, because I would have put a little flyer together for Uncle Francis if he needed me to. I could have done that.
But now we're going to put something together for the Uncle Francis Mediation Circle. Let's circulate that into the family. That's something that's very important. The family also understands that yes, we have this person here, someone with wisdom who's available to us, and it could be small issues. It doesn't matter. If you can use ChatGPT, but you can come to Uncle Francis also. You have all the options available.
I think it's a beautiful thing to have our elders, which Uncle Francis is one of them, to have our elders actually lead the charge. I think it's a fantastic thing, especially in being involving technology. Our aunt, Uncle Francis's sister, she just joined the WhatsApp group that we've had for years. And she and my mom have been resistant to WhatsApp. Like they have been a no to it. For whatever their reasons, we accepted it. But more recently, we needed to be in regular communication. And at Ermin, she joined. My mother has a chat group with myself and my sisters. And then we also Zoom call every Saturday. So we have our things where we're getting them, sort of encouraging them. My dad is a no to technology for right now, but he needed us this morning. So he's like, maybe I need to get that cell phone back, but it's just a thing. And when you introduce, and I'm referring to them as our elders, when we introduce our elders to the sweet part, as Uncle Francis referred to this meeting, the sweetness of being able to communicate at this level, it's a wonderful thing. My daughter, Alexis, and we host a creative writing workshop. And I've wanted to host one with the family because the beautiful, Serena, I don't know if you shared your piece with your dad, but the beautiful writings that come from this simple workshop that we thought of together, which was really originating with me having 5 kids and wanting to have individual one time with each child. So I created a project or business with each child. So my son, we have a 400,000 trees project where we hope to plant 1 tree for every Bahamian after Hurricane Dorian. My daughter, we have the creative writing workshop. my other daughter, we used to host vision board workshops on Zoom during the pandemic, but she's doing her own thing right now. So, but in that moment, I needed to have individual time with each child, and I was feeling stretched having to share myself out like that. And that's how we did it. Everybody created a project. And so I play with them separately with those specific projects. So but I had to be creative because I was like, I can't, I'm only one person and everybody doesn't necessarily love the same thing, you know? So yeah, but having those things and like the writing project, when I heard Serena write, I fell in love with her again. So I already love her because she's my little cousin, Uncle Francis's daughter. But when I heard her writing, I was like, she's freaking phenomenal. And then, you know, the proof is in the pudding. Her school, her academics show it. And then she's just a beautiful person. I hear her sing. She's, you know, she's just a lovely human. So I love seeing that with young people. My children are some of the best people you'll ever meet. So I just love being able to encourage them with their gifts, you know?
And the important
I
thing
love,
is that with these children connecting to a person with wisdom in the family, the value systems that they get, what they learn from that is very important. I think the kids are
yeah,
missing out on that one connection, maybe because, of course, families are now not living together. You don't have those joint family concepts. Maybe some places you do. India has some that's still there, but it is breaking up. So I think it's really important for them to connect. So Uncle Francis has a Zoom session, gets everyone in, and they just talk about whatever. It could be something about Uncle Francis's story, what he's gone, whatever, anything. I mean, I think that those stories are important. I think those stories have to be there. So
yeah. Uncle Francis is my grandfather lived to be 100, right? And he was one of my best friends. My best friend. I don't know that Uncle Francis had the same rapport with my grandfather that I had because there's a different thing with grandparents and
yeah,
grandchildren.
definitely. No, I'll tell you.
I
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
yeah,
This first series that I started was called Evolution of a Mediator. The whole idea behind that was that you don't make mediators, and you don't make mediators in a 40-hour factory for sure. So there, the person growing up, the value system of the grandparents, parents, the family, experiences, circumstances, all that makes the person whom they are. And for a mediator,
right.
all that is very important. So that is
Yeah,
why this is important. The value system that you got from your grandfather
yeah.
makes you who you are.
hmm He gave me some of the best marriage advice, like early in those early ages, like early years when I was like, if I tell my parents this, then they might look at my husband cross-eyed, or if he tells his parents this. So I would just be like, let's talk to granddad. And he'd be like, yeah, you know, life is not this complicated. We make it complicated. You know, he would just make it just so easy
But
and clear.
yeah, but that
You
little simple thing that he's told you is because of those 99 years of experience.
know?
It doesn't come so easy. That kind of wisdom.
In the moment, yeah, in the moment, and you're still like a hot-headed youth. You're trying to figure things out, but he is very special to me. He's a very special person. Yeah.
So Uncle Francis is now wanting to leave. He wants to say bye to everyone. He's now,
Yeah.
yes, Uncle Francis, that's what you want to do?
Not really. It's good. It's good. Whatever. If people are busy, that's all right. Not a problem. But it's, you know, I've enjoyed this immensely. Um, a couple of people that I expected to turn up didn't turn up, but it's okay. They'd be busy otherwise. So I think the inspiration is there to continue the work, which is, I think, what's important about these launchings, that there'll be some kind of inspiration coming out of it
No,
to
it's not.
continue.
It's inspiration. Uncle Francis, it's a responsibility on you to make a dispute-free Barbados, a dispute-free Uncle Francis family. Two things that you have to do. So it's a responsibility now.
Indeed. So I got that. So that's how I'll be seeing it as well. So thank you very much. So it's not so much about me bringing the launch into Vikram. It's about the entire experience helping me to continue the launching process.
Yeah. So now we'll hit the ground. We'll get people. We'll send this message out to everyone. However, through WhatsApp groups or whatever, just asking people to tell us in their families, in their communities, who are those people who help people resolve their disputes, who have the mediator mindset, who actually bring people together. Whatever way we have to communicate it, let's bring those people out. When we'll get them together on a Zoom session, find out what kind of things they've done. We'll record those small sessions. We'll circulate it on YouTube. What I've done is, Terrell, I've sent you the link, the YouTube link for this session that is going on. So that can go to your family. They can also watch it. So let's just, I mean, of course, inspire people. Like Uncle Francis is going to inspire people. Let's inspire people. Let's get people into the fold. That's how the circles grow. That's what's going to happen. But one day we'll have Michelle also, who will give us time. She will also do this. Michelle, when is that going to happen?
Soon.
So,
Let's plan it out for the new year.
yes, you have to take out time for that. Whatever. Let's plan it now. We can plan it for. Let's do the US mediation circle. Let's get everyone from the US gets to that, and then we do local ones. Let's put it out there. The school district mediation circle, one of the school districts that you have there. We can do that. Lots of work to be done. But the main thing is the right people who have to lead this. Terrell, the whole thing has been get the right people there. So you have two right people here. Now the third one you've got added to it. So the face of this whole revolution has to be people who I want to put out as the face. I mean, this is so people. I mean, of course, a lot of people in the US would know a mediator. Maybe not. Most parts of the world, if you ask them, mediator, they don't have a face for a mediator. So let's put the right face for them. It doesn't matter. We start slowly, let it grow slowly. It doesn't matter, but always be selective of the people that we put out as the face of every circle or in the circle also, because how people are going to connect to the process when they connect to the right person. Because even mediation itself is maybe looked at differently by different people. The process is even conducted differently by different people. But the kind of mediation that I am trying to promote, which you people are also, I'm sure, on the same wavelength as me, so the right people have to be put out, so that whenever you say, okay, that person does mediation, we don't go out even talking about mediation. We just ask them like this, who are those people who help other people? And then we ask them, what did the person do? And when they tell you what they do, I say, that's mediation. So they connect to the right form of mediation. That's been my approach to this.
No, this is very nice. So I appreciate the invitation. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know what I was joining. So I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Uncle Francis, proof is in the pudding. I should be the favorite niece now. So, I'm going to share that YouTube video with everyone so that they know for sure. They'll hear me reading the poetry. And so I know I'm the favorite. So, you don't have to even confirm that here, okay? Because I know how it is with family.
What's going to happen right here in the recording itself? Uncle Francis is going to give us time for the launch of the Uncle Francis Mediation Circle. So, Uncle Francis, when are we going to launch the Uncle Francis Mediation Circle? Give us a date. It's on record. People will watch it. When is it going to happen?
Okay.
Right now, you'll have to give us a date. When do you want to do this?
Okay. You don't want the date now, right?
Yes, right now it's on record. This video, this link is going to be circulated. Terrell is going to put it right now. You know how connected she is. Everyone's going to get it in the next few minutes. It's all going to go out. So give us a date.
Yeah, give me time to think. And Christmas time is not a good time to think.
Whenever you want to, you give the date. It's out there. What's it going to be?
We call that the slippery fish in my family. It's the slippery fish. And I know from the coaching that I've received, if you don't get a date, it's never in your calendar, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're going to get him to give a date.
Here's what I learned, Uncle Francis. What I learned is you give a date, and if you have to change it, that's okay. But you give an initial date. And then if something has to be moved, you move the date, but you lock it in, put it in your calendar, and then move it if you have to. We'll understand.
Yes. What's the date?
Julius Caesar created the Ides of March, 15th of March.
March? We're talking
tomorrow is not promised.
March. Francis, it's December right now.
Now he's got worried. There's too much responsibility put on him now. Suddenly he's worried. Can I handle it? Now he's just putting it off. Okay. No.
Just did that, you know.
Okay. So is it going to be December or is it going to be January? That's all. We have to. That's the.
Let me say late January. Late January.
That's a very long time, Francis. That's a very long time.
This
just a launch of the circle. We're just getting family in and we're just telling them about the concept. Not that we are doing everything there. You don't have to mediate in that launch. You're just
this month is hectic. This month has birthdays, mine and Serena's. Then there's Christmas and Christmas holidays. Then there's my anniversary, wedding anniversary is January the 1st. So nice. It's kind of hectic. It's a hectic time. So you want
maybe the holiday season should be used to get family together. We should get them together.
I know that's right. So Uncle Francis, what I could support you with is a 20-minute call on Christmas Day. And whoever comes. Whoever shows. But it's a way for the family to say Merry Christmas to each other on Zoom. And you can be there as the leader, as the elder that's leading the charge for us to do important things such as that. Nor if we could have all been in Barbados to be with Anne Erman to support her, I think it might be a nice thing for us to do at least an open Zoom call for everybody to join during a certain period. So even if you say the 25th, and then we coordinate in the chat a time that would be best, I think family would be supportive of that.
Please do it at a time that's convenient for me. I would also like to join the family circle, and I'm going to obviously put it out on Zoom. I will put everything out live.
I'll put it after that because
same time, Francis, same time. 8:30 India time. 8:30 India time. Let's do it on the 25th. Even if it's not going to be this 2-hour thing. We'll only do 20 minutes. Like
it's always Terrell is looking at one side of the family, but there's always another side. So
get them all in. Everyone's family.
Whoever can show. You put it out to everybody, Uncle Francis. Everything isn't for everybody, right? So you just put it out there and you go. And I don't know which side you're referring to, but Auntie O'Neill is my girl. That's his wife. And the other side of the family is so many of us, you can never select the perfect time.
Yep.
Okay.
So
okay.
If 25th is good for you, if anything before that is good for you, let's just put it out there. And let's see whoever comes. It doesn't matter. I mean, everyone can't obviously join every time for sure, but as many as they can, you'll feel good about it. So
no pressure. But all the pressure, all kind of pressure. Relax, Uncle Francis. You got this. I believe in you. I believe in you.
It's gonna be, yes. Finally, we got a date. Yes.
That goes.
What's it going to be? 25th is all right with you?
Well, it's not my preference really. I would say January. But Terrell has her idea, but I would say January because I feel that 25th people are gonna have other priorities on the 25th.
I think people are off on the 25th. You know, everybody on vacation. January.
Got other priorities. They got other priorities. Yeah.
They'll decide whether they can come in or not. You just have to take out your 30 minutes. That's all.
You could do a morning call and be done with us.
Yeah, but
all right. I still be January. If you put 25th, I would say you canvass that with people and see how many people agree to that. My feeling would be that people would
that
say,
works too.
To
give 2 days. To do 2 days. Yeah.
Just how many people, and if it's productive, then you move forward. Would that sound better?
Yeah.
Okay. You canvass to see how many people would be interested. All
That's right.
Okay.
Look,
I can support you with that. I definitely would support you with that. And if Michelle and Vikram can attend, that would be great.
Yeah, if it's at the same time, look, right now it's 10:30. So we started at 8:30 India time, which is, I think, what time was it, Francis, for you? 11 o'clock? Was it 11 in the morning?
It's about 12 o'clock now for me.
Yeah, so just 2 hours before now. So whatever your time is. So 2 hours before this, whatever the time is.
You said it's 1 in Barbados, Uncle Francis?
Yeah, it's like 12:58.
So basically 11
Okay.
o'clock. Yeah, 11 o'clock Barbados time. 11 o'clock in the morning.
Hour. Y'all normally like the same time as Barbados, but you went back an hour.
Yes,
So,
yeah, we went.
So we an hour ahead of you. So we are at 1 o'clock. And that will be
So I'll put together I'll put some thoughts together about and put it in the chat, Uncle Francis. I'll send it to everybody saying that we're planning to like link up on the day. What time would best suit everyone, I guess. But if these 2 hours, we'll pick 2 hours. We will be doing this
just pick 11 o'clock in the morning Barbados time. This is the Zoom link. Just give this Zoom link also. Just circulate it. This is a Zoom link, 11 o'clock Barbados time. You're meeting. Date you have to decide. If it's 25th is all right, is okay, Uncle Francis? Is 25th all right? Or any other date?
We canvass it, okay? Canvass it.
It's good. Yeah.
25th. Let's put out 25th. Let's put it out there. Let's do it. Let's do it.
11
Barbados time. That'd be 10 o'clock your time? Will that be 10
yes.
your time?
This time would. But you know, we have some traditions here in this part of the world, Vikram, where Christmas time, 11 o'clock, people are, well, some people go to church, but a lot of people are preparing the ham and the turkey and the this and the that, and they're in the kitchen and they're out of the kitchen and they're running around, chicken that they're eating without a head. And so that's part of the Christmas as well.
But they'll feel nice that the family got together on Christmas, which should have happened otherwise, but because everyone's now in different parts of the world, it doesn't happen now. But it'll be nice for the family to get together also.
We'll do it like a birthday thing, Uncle Francis, that we've done before, like with Mummy's birthday. You pop in and you pop out if you can. Okay? It's stressful, I promise. I'll make sure that I don't make it any more stressful than what you're feeling right now. It'll be easy, and hopefully you will show because you're the star.
Uncle Francis. And my purpose gets served that the Uncle Francis Mediation Circle gets launched.
Okay.
Good. So 11 o'clock, 25th.
I'll be in touch with you and I'll set up a little fire. Okay, I'll set something.
Look, I'll make the flyer because I have this very standard format which I use. It's going to go out. You'll see that. Have you seen the flyer for this one? It's going to be as simple as that.
Okay, perfect. I love that.
Yeah, so this is what we'll just change from Barbados to Uncle Francis. I'll be called Uncle Francis only. This is how the format goes.
The sooner you can send that out, the better.
Immediate. You'll get it. Maybe not today because 10:30. Maybe because I have to have my dinner also. But tomorrow you'll get it for sure.
Yes,
you might get it today. Might be tomorrow. So.
And I'll share it tomorrow in the various chats.
Okay. So, but how do you like it? Uncle Francis Mediation Circle or Francis Belle Mediation Circle? What's it going to be?
It's up to Uncle Francis.
Uncle Francis, what do you think? Francis Belle or Uncle Francis?
I don't want, focus was family. It should be Uncle Francis rather than Francis Belle because
I like this is endearing. So I think it's nice and it's already expressing what you're hoping to create. So it's conveying what you're hoping to create. So I like it.
Yeah, and things start with the family. So that's what the whole idea is, that you start there and then from family it reaches community and then local, national, global. That's all. We're basically creating families. That's what we're doing. Creating a family, which is what we call the community. In India, there's this concept which we say, it's Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means the world is one family. This is part of whatever we have. So, I mean, we use this here.
I like it. And we'll see how it evolves, Uncle Francis. I think it's a nice thing. We're already in the group, so we'll see how it evolves.
Yeah. So now you have the Zoom link, you have the date, you have the time, you'll get the flyer also, and let's just send it out.
Perfect.
Great. So the good things come out. When people meet, good things come out. When people have conversations, good things come out. That's what I'm saying. This is what the idea is. Let's create these spaces where people have conversations, which is what people are not doing, not having conversations. So good things are coming out. Yes, Michelle,
Look,
good things are coming out.
Right.
look,
That's-
sidebar. A lot of the relatives say, I wish we could meet more regularly. These are the words that are expressed to me. I'm one of the people who speaks to everybody in the group, right? So they're like, I wish we could meet for more than just weddings and funerals. This is it. You are creating it. This is what it is. Because we
That's the way
can't
it is.
fly, everybody can't fly from everywhere to meet. So you're creating, we already have the chat, but not everybody is in the chat. So you're creating a space for us to meet, period. And as regularly as you would like.
And the
But
best
you're
part
the
is,
leader.
and the
You're
best
the
part
leader.
about it,
Mhm.
the best part is when we're doing this, at least maybe if some resolution or something has to happen, a person of wisdom in the family is available. Could be, it doesn't have to happen with the entire family. He can have these side kind of sessions with them. At least someone to whom they can approach, because he's not that approachable. You can see I can see that. It's very difficult to get his time. We've been able to negotiate the time today, but not the easiest thing.
What it seems like is Francis is considering everyone else's needs and obligations for that day. Is that
But what he doesn't realize is that they're actually waiting for this. He doesn't realize this. They're waiting for this time and date, and once they get it, he doesn't. He thinks that maybe everyone won't come in, but people will come in, Francis. They will.
And the two people who show are important.
Exactly.
The one
Exactly.
person that shows up is crucial because they needed that space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you should not put yourself in a position where you feel you need to choose for us. Give us the opportunity to choose for ourselves. That is one thing that I learned as well. I tend to consider everything, and I end up choosing for people without giving them the option to choose, without giving them their voice, allowing them to have their voice. So allow us to choose.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing happened. This was one of the good things that happened. This takes the whole thing forward the way I want to take it forward. This is exactly the way I wanted it to be happen. Was creating that community, because I've been saying that the role of mediator is not just going to be dispute resolution, it's going to be creating communities also, because that's what's broken up. So
I think that's very important.
Yep.
Each other, how we relate to each other, how we learn from each other, all those things are very important.
So what we'll do is we'll get the last words in of whatever Michelle has to say, then what Tirel has to say, and then final, of course, the last word goes to you. So Michelle, anything do you want to tell Uncle Francis on his birthday?
I just hope you have a wonderful day today, Francis. I'm just so grateful to have met you. I guess we're coming up on almost a year now, I think. I have to really go back in my LinkedIn, our messages, just to see like how far back we've gone. But you're certainly a blessing to me, and you've helped me a lot with mindset, and I think I have with you equally. Excuse me, but I just want you to have a wonderful day today, and thank you all for even allowing me to join in. And it's so nice to meet you, Terrell, and it was so nice to see your daughter. So I'm just very grateful to be able to spend this day with you. Part of it, the morning on my end.
Yes, Terrell. Anything for us, for Uncle Francis?
I was just saying to Michelle, when she said daughter just now, she sounded like she was from New York. You said daughter. And so I was like, that sounds a little New Yorkish. I don't know if there's something.
I have family from New York. I don't know. You know, Baltimore is right next to New York. So I think that we have certain things that we say, it's intertwined.
Yeah. But when you said that just now, I was like, Brooklyn? Nice to meet your daughter. But anyway, I would just say it was a pleasure to be here, Uncle Francis. Don't feel bullied. You know, the Time side of the family has that tendency to tell it like it is and, you know, insist on what we believe is best for everybody, whether you think it is or not. So I apologize for that on your beautiful birthday. And at the same time, I tend to be guided by my intuition. And I feel because this was brought up here that it needs to happen. And especially with what's transpiring, just even as we speak with family members that I know that you're not aware of, I feel like it's important to have something on that day.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to say, be encouraged. I will make it as easy as possible for you to be successful. I do what I can to have it be successful.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
So,
And it was lovely
seeing,
lovely seeing Serena.
Last word, Francis, you'll get the last word. So let me put in the thank you part of it. Thank you very much for being part of this and celebrating your birthday with us and all the other shows that you've been part of. It's always been a pleasure talking to you. So thank you very much for that. And thank you, Michelle, for introducing me to Francis. It's nice of you to do that. So thank you very much. And of course, Barbados Mediation Circle, Uncle Francis Mediation Circle. Let's just take it forward. Lots to do that. So thank you very much. And you get the last word.
Okay, well, the last word is love. And, you know, what better way to feel on your birthday that idea that really and truly what is objective is love. For family, love for each other, and love for seeing and hopefully seeing a better world, you know. And I think this before we started the Barbados Mediation Circle on the right foot. It's now morphed into being or it's going to be a second circle, this Uncle Francis Mediation Circle. And or Uncle Francis Mediation, yeah, is it Uncle Francis Mediation Circle? Yeah. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I think it is all good, as people say nowadays. I don't know if they always understand what they mean when they say that, but all good. And it's all about love. Yeah, all about love. So I think this is even better than anything I envisaged at the end of the day, coming out of this session today. So thank you very much.
And the 25th is also going to be much better than how you look at it right now. It's going to be really nice. So
thank you very much, Terrell, Serena. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you on the 25th. And there's lots of other events happening, Terrell, before that. Michelle, the Zoom link remains the same. Please join. You can join them. You can go to that website, mediatorvikram.com. There's a whole schedule there. Just join any of those. Please, more the merrier kind of situation.
Will do. Thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And it was a pleasure spending time with you all. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us. And Michelle, obviously, it's always a pleasure seeing you. So we'll see you again, right? Bye.
No. Bye.